Hey folks, quick little video here. Halloween's coming, and well, I've got a much larger project that is in the works. If I get a video out on that, it's going to take a while, both to finish the project and to edit it. And we'll see. But I figured I'd do a quick little one here, just to show you a thing I like to do. You know, the plastic skeletons you get at retail. I got like a whole bunch of them last year. Like on sale after the end of the season. They look good, but they've always got that thing on their head to hang them with, a little, rubber band thing. And usually that's not a great way to do it. If you can't freestand them in your lawn with that goofy little springy thing, and if you find a way to do it, it's going to look weird. So I decided to make a way last year for myself to display skeleton that would allow them to freestand and be basically hidden at night. Black paint is involved, so I'll show you kind of what I'm thinking. First off, I've got this, I believe it's a 1.5 inch wooden dowel, and I have marked off from that end to this mark right here is about 47 inches, somewhere in between, which is about where most of the retail skeletons go. So I'm going to cut it in half right there. I'm going to have to use a handsaw because I don't trust this, round object to work with a reciprocating saw. So, all right, here goes. Okay, so once you have your tall piece, your 47 inch dowel piece, you're going to want to cut a piece. Mine is about 7.5 inches. What this is going to do, this is actually going to be kind of the opening underneath the chest cavity's width. And this is actually going to sit like right under the collarbones. The skeleton's actually going to sit on top of this. And you'll see in a little bit how that's going to work exactly. All right, so out of 2 8-foot dowels, I was able to get 3 67 inch vertical pieces and 3 7.5 inch horizontal pieces. What's going to happen, you're going to drill a hole through this and the pilot hole in the top. You're going to attach it like that. And we're going to leave the screw a little loose so that it'll pivot a little. And don't worry if your cuts aren't perfectly straight, like this one is a little skewed, especially on these pieces, because these are not going to, the cuts on the end aren't going to matter so much. The cuts on these, if they're a little off, it's okay. Just add some character to your skeleton's pose, and this is home haunting, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And actually, less than perfect can sometimes produce better results. Okay, so once you got your verticals cut down at the base, you're going to drill 2 holes. These are going to be, where your screws are going to go to attach to the main support system. The main support I'm going to use, just using some scrap wood that I had laying around. For the main base, I'm going to use this piece of 4x4. I'm not going to use that end. I'm going to use this end. They don't have to be perfect. Again, this is just scrap wood you got laying around the house. I like the 4x4 because it provides a bit of weight, so that in the wind the skeleton's not going to fall over forward. And I forgot I was using this piece of scrap to sharpen a carpenter's crayon. That one right there, actually. And now I've got crayon all over my fingers. So it doesn't have to be good wood, just has to be wood. Okay, so once you've drilled your 2 holes down there at the base, you're going to come up here to the top. You're going to drill a hole straight down as close to the middle as possible. This is where your horizontal support that's going to go underneath the collarbone of the skeleton is going to sit. As you might now expect, the next piece is probably the trickiest part of this whole thing, which is to drill the hole down through the horizontal dowel. Pretty much this hole is going to match up with the hole at the top of the vertical dowel. Alright, so after you've got your dowels prepped, you go ahead and drill some pilot holes into your back support and attach it. I used some number 10 2.5 inch decking screws which have this star bit, which isn't my favorite thing to use, but it's what I had. So to attach it to the 2x4, the 2x4 to the 2x2. Again, scrap wood, whatever you have laying around the house will work, as long as you got something that'll give it a little bit of heft and weight to kind of lower that center of gravity. What's going to be your skeleton, we're actually looking at it from behind. So this 4x4, excuse me, is actually going to be between the skeleton's legs. But if you do it right, it should be the main part that's actually visible. So, and we're going to paint it all black, so you'll barely be able to see it at nighttime. Final step in the assembly, and sorry the camera won't seem to focus, there it goes, is just to drive one screw through the vertical from the horizontal. And this is the finished product. And I can't get back far enough to really catch it all in frame. There you go. After that, all you gotta do, paint it black to hide it in the nighttime, and you're done. Set a skeleton on it. Alright, so here's what it looks like when it's finished. As I said, you can see how these 4x4 comes out between the feet. And what I like to do is bring the dowel up behind the pelvis and then into the rib cage. Again, this will all be painted black, so you won't really see it. And it may or may not, depending on your skeleton. This is different from the one I had last year, but it may or may not sit all the way in. If it doesn't, it's fine, as long as it's nice and snug. And you probably want to zip tie them to this just for safety's sake. But you can basically, from there, just pose them however you like, as well as the stand will allow. And you can kind of see from here, you know, how for the most part, at night in the dark, that black stand won't show up. And you can do variants of it, like for example, this here is a 2 skeleton stand, and these actually swivel out. I don't know if I told you about that, but for this one was designed so that I could put one skeleton here, one skeleton here. It's actually kind of a husband-wife, or just a dancing couple skeleton. And I'm actually got these, his and hers tombstones at home this year, and I'm gonna kind of mock up some kind of a stand to put them here in front, which should further hide the dowel, but not that you could really see it anyway. There you have it. That is the easy, make it with scrap and a couple of dowels and whatever screws you have left over skeleton stand. Anything else we need to tell them? No, just that 80 degrees in October is a very strange temperature, even for Arkansas. It's early October. It's still got time to cool. All right, say goodnight, Gracie. Good night.